Okay, so we are now live. Going to continue with the game engine. This is part 11 and part 2 of the QuickTime event mouse and joystick implementation. Okay, so what we had was, if I undo just this a little bit, didn't have much code there to be fair, was this. So we got an event list for the key. So we basically have an implementation for the keyboard essentially. We want it to allow mouse and joystick as well. So key threshold. I don't need this, do I? Did I never delete this? I thought I deleted it. Okay, I guess not. Okay, release counter by. So that was for the rapid button masher. So I was gonna combine that with the QTE, then I decided against that. That was a good idea to not do it with the button masher, to be fair. And okay, so want to make it so it works for mouse and joystick. So what I was thinking yesterday, if I duplicated the constructor and had just one change where the event list was now, joystick stuff. But even with joystick, so let's have a look. So we got joystick and we got mouse. So in here, realistically the events, so we got these buttons. So we're assuming, it's all button based and there's no wheel events or anything in there. We're just trying to keep it as simple as possible. Then we got the button events on here as well. So if we went round down the route of, let's actually try it. Let's see what would happen. So if I duplicate this and let's do it for joystick. So joystick I'm gonna say why is nothing appearing. There we go, there we go. Okay, so we need, so these are the buttons. Are these the buttons again? Let's go back to close joystick down. So joystick HPP and then no. So we would just get a button count. And then we would, because the way to detect if something has been pressed, you just specify the joystick and then the button itself. So the both unsigned ints. So the both unsigned ints. The both. Okay, so they're both unsigned in. So we would have, we don't need to have anything here for that. We would just have we don't really even need an event list per se. See, the problem I'm getting is if I do a different one, because it wouldn't be an event list really for like we do next input. see, it's also, let me have a look how we would do it with the mouse. That might help me understand how we could potentially do it for the let's pin the to do. So the mouse, for the mouse, really there's only these buttons here, because when we say is pressed, it has to be a button, end of. So those are the ones that are realistically supported. Actually, one thing I wanted to add was for the input, add it so we have predefined controller types, I should say, and then within that we'll do like Xbox and we'll do PlayStation. Probably just, you know, Xbox One, Xbox 360, PlayStation. It'll be like a 4 controller really /5. Okay, so I'll save that. We'll go back to QTE. Never been on this menu before. It's a new menu. Okay, not new, but new for me. Okay, so instead of doing this, we're gonna have this be 2 unsigned in. So the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna have an array of 2 and event list. That way we'll have the least amount of potential things to change. So that way the event size does not change. You know, this function, it's still essentially the same sort of principle. The event list, we still, again, we're not returning the same event list, but we'll go into that in a second. Let me copy this. The difference we're going to do is that'll probably produce an error because it's blah blah blah. It's what we've already done, which is fine. We'll copy. Why is it called event list here and called list here? Yeah, and I'll probably need to update it there then as well. Ah, that was very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I've always, you know, found it hard to understand why they let you do that, why they let you have a different name in there and there as long as the parameter types and the order matches up. I can understand maybe one reason, like, okay, you have it in there a more specific name, and in here something to do with conflicts. You know, that's something I can think of, but even then, just do a better job naming. Okie dokie. So what we're gonna do now is, because in here we can't assign it to the event list. That's the issue we have right now. We literally could create 2 event lists. So and I want to just format the document. Yes, fine. We could create 2 event lists. One is keyboard. One is mouse. No, this is not mouse. This is joystick. And this is just going to be gonna be literally what we've got here. There we go. For the event in the keyboard QTE, the joystick QTE as well. Don't need to do anything else here. In terms of, that's what I'm implementing right now. Get failure count, that shouldn't matter. Update and event list. See again, which event list should it use? That's, you know, the question. The real trillion, billion, gazillion dollar question. Because we got event list. Okay, the getting one I don't see an issue with fixing. And so this is all to do with size. And okay, it's all size based. That's the thing that we are trying to overcome, is size. So if we just literally just say I guess failure count can't be negative, so try best if this is an unsigned int. Reset amount can't be negative, best if this is an unsigned int. Event position, there may be a need to make that a negative, potentially. Okay, so unsigned int, and what we doing next? So we was doing the event list, so we're gonna create a, so if I just copy this will be an unsigned int. I ended up doing Command C instead of Control C from Mac. And this will be number of events. This will be event count. And we are literally just gonna say in here. It'll be interesting. Can I do this? Can I say, I will fix these up in a second. Okay, I'll fix it up now. Event list. That's going to be assigned to the keyboard one. This is going to be event list. This is going to be assigned to the joystick one. Not joystick. No, it ain't joystick. It's a joystick. We're gonna say underscore event count. We're gonna say event list dot size. Can I do that within here? Looks like it's all good. No new thing I've learned. Okay, we've got an extra comma. Obviously that will break stuff, blah blah blah. So instead of this, we just return this now. and instead of yeah, we will be fixing that after. Instead of this, we use this one. Instead of this, we use this one. Instead of this, we use this one. Okay, so we are getting there now. We're slowly getting there. Water almost came out then. Okay, let me put some more water in my little bottle. On camera now, gotta make sure I get it done well. Oh yeah, so far so good. Yeah, marvelous. And then I'll just knock it over. Have you ever done that? You just be so, oopsie daisy, almost. You just be so careful doing something, and then the lighting turn like, yeah, I succeeded. And then you just end up knocking something else over or part of it over. I have. Okay, so what was we gonna do? We basically need to start fixing these things. So instead of just one get event list, we're gonna have get event list keyboard. We're gonna have another one, and this will be for the keyboard. Keyboard QTE, keyboard QTE, in the joystick QTE get event list for the not TG, the get event list joystick. Okay, so this is gonna return the event list keyboard. We'll duplicate this. This will be get event list, not keyboard. It's gonna be the joystick now. We need to modify this so it has an array of 2 unsigned ins. Okay, copy that. And it's going to be underscore event list joystick. Oh, is that the only one error left? This will be underscore event list keyboard. And we're almost done. Okay, so we'll need to do this for, we need to have another one of these, but for the joystick now. Next input keyboard. Next. So the reason I'm putting keyboard at the end instead of saying next keyboard input, which sounds more logical instead of next input key, instead of doing that, doing next input keyboard, is my reasoning is if you're doing any, let's say you're using IntelliSense, something like I will be doing, I'll put next input and then use whichever one you want. Like the keyboard, the joystick is that's not what I want the first part to be read. I want it to be next input. Okay, so especially when it's like event list, I don't want to say a keyboard event list, because there could be something else keyboard related. I also want to say event list. So that's definitely event list, and there's only, let's say, 3 of them. Okay, so copy that, paste that, process the next keyboard event. Okay, so now we should be able to say next input joystick. Again, we're gonna have to have it as a unsigned int, and it is going to be two arrays. What am I talking about? It's going to be one array of size 2, and this is not going to be called key. This is going to be called button. Yeah. Okay, I don't need this to be of an array of size 2. I'll make it easier on the user by saying button joystick button, and then I'll have another one which will be ID, because internally, yeah, we might be doing it with arrays, but I think this will be better for the developer. Joystick ID. Okay, see what we get. It's probably best if I have ID one first, just to keep the stuff, you know, the continuity going. Make it sound like I'm planning some Marvel movie now. Okay, so if we, what are we gonna do now? Next, joystick input. I'm gonna copy and paste this, and this can be next input joystick. I'm gonna copy and paste this, and we'll have an array here. So this is where we would say and the key Okay, so what's the comparison that we're gonna do? Event list keyboard. Oh yeah, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna say if joystick ID is equal to the event list, not the keyboard, the event list joystick the event position, and then number 0, and then we'll do the same sort of check for the button as well. So copy this, and this is going to be number 2, and this is going to be button. What's he moaning about now? Well, it's defined right there. I need a capital B. So we're looking pretty darn good. Event position, event count, blah blah blah. Event time list. Event. Okay, so we should be good enough to give this a test now. I'm gonna plug in a Xbox controller. This was the joystick one that was implemented. So I'll plug in an Xbox controller and test it like that. should be able to just do wirelessly. Turned off. Is the battery low possibly? Let's just turn it off. I mean, it's possible that the battery low. Let me change the battery for the controller. Got the battery right here. Low battery container with everything neatly organized. We need a couple of AA's. Let's have a look. Which way was it again? Can't see the there's the minus. So there we go. Okay, let's have a look. See if this works now. No, it's still turning off. Yeah, I don't think it's a battery issue. Don't think that it's a battery issue. Okay, so maybe there's a resync concept. And did I remove this device from here? It usually flashes longer than that anyway, so that's one thing that I'm like, usually flashes for at least for a few seconds. Let's sync it up in Bluetooth. Okay, so add device Bluetooth. Put this bad boy into sync mode. The older controller you can't put into sync mode if it's not on. You can with the Xbox Series X one. It's in sync mode. It's not detecting it. Let me unplug my Bluetooth, then plug it back in. There we go. It's detecting stuff now. Oh, I forgot. I can't do it this way, can I? What am I doing? What am I doing? I've got to do it via the dongle because this is an older controller. This controller is one of the. Okay. Put it back into sync mode. It is now synced. There it is. Don't know why it wasn't appearing before. Okay, so that's all there. Now let's test this out. So if let's do a build first. Make sure there's no errors. Getting some errors? Then we're missing something. We'll find out. Where? I wonder if this is mount. Let me have a look. Make sure I'm doing the vector right. C++ vector int array. Int 2. Copy constructible. so this is, let me try it like this then. Yeah, I know why why that is moaning. Don't see why that one is moaning. Kind of do. Let me have a bit more Googling. Apparently I can do it like this. Forgot about the STD array. Didn't think I would need it, but I mean, if it works, then don't really care. Let me build it. We'll still get at least one error, which is from the splash state. And this is something else, I think. Yeah, this is actually... Oh! The other thing did not give an error though, which is very, very positive. Gotta be positive, not negative. Oh yeah. Build that. Should get at least still one error. From splash state, because we haven't updated the keyboard QTE, which don't really care about because I'm gonna build succeed. Did I comment that code out from the splash state? I mean, that's possible. No, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. So we are going to duplicate this. I'm gonna comment this out. The thing that I don't even know. I'm gonna have it so again I'll have the same system, so there's 5 keys and they are going to be I don't even see. There's a few things I'm gonna have to try out first. First of all, if I go to joystick, were there any static? Yes, they were static methods, which is great. It makes things a lot easier. So if I say on the splash, on the constructor, that first of all I want to let's get some identification first. What will the identification give us back? Name, vendor ID, and product ID. Auto detection of controllers will be nice as well. Auto detection. Look into identification struct in joystick class. Okay, so if we go to the joystick and we now do, what should we do? splash state, we're going to say std colon colon cout, and I'm going to print out I can get rid of this, don't need that, don't care about that at all. What is update mode in now? It's possible that it's because I haven't wrapped this up. I don't see why that would. So if we go, there we go. I deleted way too much. And in here, we're gonna say joystick is connected 0. We just want to see if the 0 joystick is connected. Someone said volume is too low, can't hear you. Is the volume low? Hello? Like, can you not hear me? Shouldn't be. Like, the levels are normal as usual. So, let me have a quick listen. No, seems loud enough to me, Dev Hedron. I'm gonna, say the obvious thing. How loud have you got your speakers or headphones up to? Maybe you need to turn them up. Okay, so where was we? Exception thrown. Obviously, exception's gonna get thrown. But that's calm, because it should have 0. Because that's fine. That is fine. That is okay. Splash state, and that one is not connected. No, well, it's gonna produce an error anyway, so it's not gonna run. Jesus Christ! A bunch of just comments just came in now. We just had 13 concurrent viewers than the first most that I've ever had. We can hear you. Volume is too low. When you're close to the mic, I hear you fine. But when you're close to the mic, but otherwise no. That's true. I'm on Mac. We've maxed our volume now. The audio is okay. Could I get some more feedback off other people? Like if I'm here, I'm talking my normal sort of voice. Obviously, when I was over there, I can understand. But here, let me know, because there's no audio editing done, so I can increase volume. Like here I can do that. It's just you're obviously going to pick up a little bit of extra sound as well, so let me know how this is. You can get a bit more feedback. So on this, yes, one. So that is the one that we want. Number 1 is the one we want. Number 1 is the one we want. Okay, so we got that. We don't want a button count. We don't want to So QTE, we get rid of the QTE from here. And what we're gonna say is in here indeed. We are literally just going to print out std c out. And we're gonna say joystick is pressed, and we need to provide the ID, which is, we know that is 1. Then we need to provide the button, and I want to check if there's 5 different ones pressed. But I need to know what those buttons are. I'm not too sure. So what we're gonna do is this. 1, 2. Okay, so we need to change this to 1. This will be 2. This will be 3, and this will be 4. So if I run this, I just need to identify the buttons. I will make a note of them here as well on some paper. That's interesting. So it doesn't update unless I move the mouse. Okay. So A is 0. A equals 0. B equals 1. X is 3. X is 2, sorry. Three is Y. And what's number 4? I'll just deal with these. None of these. Ooh. L1 is that. So none of the others will get triggered. So L1 or LB, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Okay, so now let's actually. So why is that not working unless I move the mouse? That is very strange. Oh, that's yeah, because it's poll input. Now, after I put it in the update one. There, that's fine. Okay, so what we're gonna say is this. We are going to put this as 1, comma. Copy that into here. Here, here. So the first button we want to detect is 0, which is A. Then the second button we're going to detect is, I'm going to mix it up and say L1, which is 4. The third button that we want to detect is go back to A, so 0. Then we'll detect B, which is 1. And we'll detect Y, which is 3. So let me actually note that sequence down. So that's A. What was the after A? 4, which is L1. Then A again. Then number 1, which is B. Then I believe it was Y. Let me check. Yes. And then it's Y. Okie dokie. So now that we've got that done, we can uncomment that will produce an error. Uncomment that should not produce an error. So when you say next input joystick, and this is going to be it wouldn't actually be in here. Because what we need to do is if event joystick button released equals the event dot type. Then we are gonna say this. The chat is very quiet today, apart from this little audio thing. Everyone seems very, very quiet. Hopefully everyone's okay. I doubt you are all not okay, because I'm assuming you are independent people. But I hope you're having a good day as well. Good day. Okay, so we've got the joystick implemented. What was I gonna do? So I'm hoping event dot, what we got? Is there a key? Have we got anything to do joystick? It was a lowercase j. If we do no, I think it's all gonna be a joystick button, the ID, then the event dot joystick button dot joystick, then it's the button. Now we should be good to go. Now should be able to test out our QTE. Okay, so I mean, we got an error then, but the thing is, I don't even know what's happening because I'm not printing anything out. So I need to print stuff out. So I need to say std. So yeah, and the format that we're going to print out is, if we get QTE get is complete first. So we'll get the is complete first. Then we'll get which one we are on. So we'll say QTE get event position. We'll also get the, I need to format this up in a second. We'll get the clock. And from that we'll get elapsed time. From that we'll get EL seconds. I think we should be all good for that. Then we just need to do a couple of modifications, and that's after here. We're gonna say and put this, put one here. Should be all good to go. So have a look now. Are you using OpenGL? Somebody asked. No, not technically. I got an error. Using SFML, which is built on top of OpenGL, but this is not an OpenGL stream. So if you want to, what is that? Well, that's the method. If you want to learn more about OpenGL, I've got OpenGL tutorials on my channel. So if I just go to YouTube and go into here, phone screen turned off, and if you was to go to Streamline for good. At the height we go up to 15, the highest that we've had so far. Okay, streams are going very well. Okay, so if I was to go to search, type in OpenGL, you'll get a bunch of stuff. So I recommend this series over this one. This is the older fixed pipeline, this is the modern pipeline. If you need to use the old one, you know, I've got tutorials on that as well. I did do a creating modern OpenGL game engine vlog series. This was like back in 2016, 17, and yeah, so I did do that. I want to take this for a lot longer. This is more practical than what I was doing there. And what we're gonna do is also, if you wanna look at some more hardcore, yeah, I love the OpenGL. Oh, you already know. Okay, some other great tutorials out there for OpenGL I'd like to share. So even if I didn't create it, is the Cherno. He's created a bunch of great ones as well, and he's creating a game engine, and he documents it as well, which is fantastic. The game and it's called Hazel. His is a lot more lower level, so if you really want to know about that sort of stuff, you know, that's one of his is the way to go. Another one is Nathaniel Weiss. He didn't do he probably does know OpenGL, but he didn't do OpenGL for like the game engine. I mean for the game, because he was actually live streaming. If you look what he was doing, find some of the longer ones. They're a lot shorter his videos are now, where he was live streaming, basically coding a game. The initial one was Songbringer, and he live streamed, if not all the creation, a huge chunk of the creation. I don't 100% know. I actually did a couple of interviews with him just after the game came out. That's on the channel as well, so you can check that out. And I know there's a couple of comments. I would have a look at them in a second. Though his stuff is great because, you know, he created a practical game that got released, and he's very good. Then there's another guy called Nathaniel Weiss used Cocos 2DX, and he used something called Rapid Game, which is like his sort of framework on top of that. Then there's Molly Rocket, which used to be called Handmade Hero, and he does live streams pretty much every day as well. He hasn't done one for a week, then 2 weeks before that. He used to be like hot on it. For the most part, he's been doing them pretty much every day. But yeah, he goes really in depth and low level as well. So like if we go into this one.
And since it
So he does C++, going very low level. I can't remember, is he using C++ on that? Because I know he does a lot of OpenGL. Well, not using C++, but is he using OpenGL? Because I know he does a lot of Win32 API stuff, and that's how he actually did his window, like literally from scratch. So he's definitely another one to check out. I think those are the main ones. There's Jonathan Blow as well, who created, I think, was it the game Braid? I think it's Braid, and he does live streams as well. If we go to one of it. 1 second, let me just check the comments, okay. Hawk. I'm guessing that's okay. I'm trying to finish Cherno's OpenGL series. I'm on Mac and I'm learning a lot. Yeah, you'll learn a lot from there. Another great resource, written resource. Control T is learnopengl.com, and yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff here. The guy created a book not that long ago as well, so worth checking out. I have wrote a OpenGL book as well, which is right there. But there's a bunch of great ones. I know David Wolf's is good as well. Another great book if you want to know really about how game engines work. I need to read more of it, to be fair. Is this Game Engine Architecture. This is the 3rd edition. Probably when it was on sale back at the start of summer. I think like I ordered it on the 27th of April. So if you go game, they're not cheap. So if you get one on sale, you can get 1st and 2nd edition, because that's the 3rd edition, which is the latest one. You can get 2nd and a 3rd edition, which is cheaper, but if you can get hold of this at a good price, that's definitely where to go. You can rent it as well if you want. They're that expensive. So this is $92, probably about 70-80 quid here at a decent price. So 1 second, I'm just gonna deal with something. Okay, so, and Jason Gregory is, I think, the lead programmer at Naughty Dog, so, you know, Uncharted guys. So yeah, so Jonathan Blow does a bunch of great videos as well, worth checking out.
What I would do next is make just a little bit of an architectural change in the compiler, not a big one. Emacs there is, but it only really does. Let's do it.
So yeah, he's doing C++ as well.
This one. Boom. Okay.
And another one is GeoHots. He's not doing game engine stuff, he's doing the comma AI, and his is pretty cool as well. Definitely worth checking his out. His seemed like a more tame version of what Martin Shkreli used to do. So he used to do a lot of finance and medical, you know, lessons for free on YouTube. Martin Shkreli, I'm pretty sure he started actually doing programming ones as well. If I don't know if he was teaching it. I know he was learning it himself. Yeah. Okay, so definitely a bunch of great ones to check out. Okay, the only problems I have on Mac are compiling, which I got fixed with some time ago. Right now I have some resources for all of this stuff, as well as compiling libraries. That sounds good then. Okay, so if I go over... Okay, so we was going to... So it was A. Oh no, I'm going to do it on here. So as soon as I pressed the button, it crashed. Something it did not like. It was visual. Let me run it again. I thought I pressed loads of buttons last time. Let me do it so I press... Let me if I do... Where is that crashing then? Where is it crashing indeed? Let's have a look. Is it crashing in the next input joystick? Most likely. Oh yeah, there's also I need to... That's going to interfere with stuff. So it's crashing in when we're getting the next input. So when we go to QTE, next input. Let me comment this out. Run that. Okay. Not in Cocos. Okay, got a few more comments. Why you coding terminal text editor but compiles using VS? Terminal text editor? No, are you talking about this? This is just the command prompt that appears with the project that I'm using. I'm not too sure about the question or the statement. Okay, I'm working in Cocos 2DX. Is it good or not, sir? It's good. Like, it's great. A lot of big games have been made from it. You know, games that have made, I'm pretty sure, over $1 billion. Like, definitely hundreds of millions. Zynga's used it, as well as a bunch of other companies. My biggest gripe will be it lacks resources, considering how big it is. The resources out there that I'm gonna toot my own horn, say the ones that I haven't created, most of them are whack. Like, there are some good ones out there. I think Game from Scratch, I think they're decent. There's some other ones as well, but most of them are so bad, especially the ones they provide themselves. I find the ones that are decent for the most part are the ones that are provided by community members like myself. Then the ones that are provided by them are so rubbish. And there's always issues with setting up, I always find, with a new version. It just can be convoluted sometimes, but it's a great engine nonetheless. Okay. He's using VS. He has a bunch of tutorials. Yes, I do on Cocos 2D. Not in Cocos 2DX. In Cocos 2DX. Most of them are 2DX. Originally, I did do Cocos 2. No. Did I ever do tutorials on Cocos 2D-iPhone? Or whatever it's called now? I don't think so. I did it on X only, so JavaScript, C++. Don't know if I ever did Lua ones. I can't remember. Might need to go back and do them. No, I mean someone shown right now. Press retry to debug. Are you asking me? Telling me or what? I don't know. What about Sepha? Hey guys, or hi guys. Father99 is a noob says hello. Father99. Farverted. Father Ted 99. Father Ted 99. Hello. And no, I don't mean you. I have a question. Fire away. Someone you shown in YouTube in your browser. 1 second. I need to check something out. Give me a second. Yeah, I just need to deal with something. Bear with me. Just bear with me, everyone. Okay, what we'll do there. Which game menu is best to start if you're new to game development? First question I would say is, are you new to programming? Because so many people that I hear that have that question are new to programming, and I'm like, stay away from game development, or trying to, because I think most people get this thing, okay, I've got an idea, I want to create a game, it's good, learn the basics first of coding. But let me know, you might be an expert coder, but you're just new to game development. That's a little different, so let me know. Thanks, sir. In that crash dialog, if you press retry button, it will start debugging. Okay, is the resources I have been gathering up for quite some months. Hope you find them useful. Your reaction to Cocos 2D tutorial was awesome. What, my reaction? And which tutorial as well are you talking about? Okay, so what was I even going to do here? So that don't crash. So it is something in here. Let me see if by some chance it's this itself. But if not, it's probably the if statement. Yep, it's the if statement. Okay, retry. Yeah, subscript out of range, an out of range issue with the array. Kind of thought as much. There we go. I want the second value, but I need to index it using 1. Remember, computer start at 0. Okay, so if I go on to it now, well, things don't crash, but it ain't picking this up anywhere. Well, I still got this stuff commented out. That's good. I'm happy about that. For the simple reason, it means there's a chance it might work without me having to actually write and modify any code. It's just an uncomment issue. So was it was A L1 or LB A L1 A B Y A. Boom. That got reset. A L1 A B. After 4 seconds, this should get reset. With 5. A L1 A B Y. Boom, successful. No matter time, should reset this now. Yeah, boom, done. Okie dokie. So yeah, that's fixed that issue now. I just tuned in. Which API is this? So I'm using SFML, which is built on OpenGL, but doing no OpenGL. This is SFML. I'm creating my own abstraction game engine layer on top of it. Okay, so oh sorry bro, I just got the volume fixed. It was my YouTube volume. It happens. Okay, I am not new to programming. I've programmed in Python and VB. Have you programmed in any other languages apart from those two, or are those the only two? And how long and what sort of stuff did you do in what capacity? Work, uni, 1 year, 2 year, that sort of stuff. Use the core stack to go back. We got it fixed. Sepher Kalanaki. I can pronounce his surname. Sepher. Is it open source? This, yes, it is. So you can. I'll post it in. Currently it says called Project XYZ. And not only is it open source, I am using. Have I not got a license file? Where is the license file? I thought I had the license file. I usually do create one. Nah, screw it. Can't be bothered. Too much hassle now. Okay. Even when I create one, I always use the unlicensed. It's my favorite one to use because it's basically do whatever you want. 100%. It's like I'm still like unsure why people use stuff like MIT licensing when that essentially allows you to do most things, but I'd rather just do unlicensed. Anyone that can explain to me benefit of MIT over unlicensed, greatly appreciated. Boom, there we go. Let's see, use the core start. Oh, neat. What we need to do for master in programming. So, okay, so based on that question, I'm guessing you're asking, what do you need to do to become a master in programming? What would this create? I'm gonna obviously not for this stream. For the next stream, I'll try switching to 9500. I think my internet should be able to handle that. Those are the only ones I've learned. Okay, one second. To become master in programming, learn a wide variety of languages. C++, do web stuff as well. Learn C. Like definitely, a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, I'm only C++ or I'm only desktop, and ignore web stuff. Trust me, do web stuff. It is proper coding, and it is good development, and it introduces its own complexities and problems, but good, sort of things that you can solve. Do mobile stuff as well. Again, you want to spend several years on it, maybe even decades, but several years definitely. You want to create projects as soon as you can. So after you've done a bit of coding, start creating small projects. I'm not saying some Call of Duty game. I'm talking about like some really basic calculator where you put two numbers in and he adds them together. Then extend that to, you put two numbers in, you get to choose add, take away, divide, multiplication. Extend that to, you can put multiple numbers in. Extend that to, you can choose how many numbers you want. Extend that all the way to a full calculator. That might be something, if you've never coded before, that could take you several months to get to that stage. A calculator in its own right can be relatively complex to create, and then replicate what other people have done. I'm not saying rip it off and try and sell it, but some people make a lot of money like that, legally and not legally. But I'm saying, if you're doing game development, you're getting pretty good, try and make Breakout, or try and make Pac-Man. Obviously with Pac-Man you'll introduce AI, quite a bit of AI in there, so you'll learn a lot there. And work on projects with people, look at other people's code, streams like these. I'm not saying just continue looking at mine, feel free to stop watching, that's obviously 100% up to you, but have a look at other people's streams as well. Earlier I mentioned some of the other ones, I'll quickly go over them. GeoHots, Jonathan Blow, Nathaniel Weiss, Molly Rocky, which used to be called Handmade Heroes. These are all YouTube channels. And what's the other guy name? Hazel Game Engine guy, the Cherno. Okay, so got a few more comments. On and off. I'll say for game development, that was the question, wasn't it? So okay. Let me continue reading in case you've answered one of the questions I was just about to have forwarded. Do you know any good guides for building 64-bit libraries for SFML? Can you expand on that, exactly what sort of thing you want to do? Just by creating a file and call it license.txt, GitHub will load different templates. Thank you. I would do that now. And I'm guessing license with an E, the way it's spelled. And create new file, license.txt. Choose a license template. There we go. The unlicensed. No liability. Limitations on liability and warranty. So what are these limitations? Let's have a look. As is without warranty. Fitness for your. In no event shall the authors be liable. Yeah, this is the one I prefer. This is the one I love to use. The unlicensed. I like the name as well. Unlicensed. It's like it's unlicensed, unlicensable. Okay, so where do we go on the comments? Okay, so use the call stack. I know I still need to learn more about object-oriented programming. I think I still have a few bits to cover. Is a noob do what is VB? Okay, VB is Visual Basic. Yeah, became pro after web stuff. Yeah, like I think I know a lot of people that do desktop only take the piss out of web stuff because they're like, oh, it's HTML is not real coding, and it's like, yeah, I would argue it is still coding, just pure HTML is still programming. But when you create a website, you don't just do HTML. You do HTML, you do CSS, you do JavaScript, you do. Though jQuery is the framework, it's so complex. I mean, not complex. It's so rich. It's almost like a language in itself. You will do backend technology like PHP or Python or Ruby, for example. You might do XML as well. most of the time when you do desktop-based stuff, when I say desktop, I'm including mobile as well. When you create something, you usually probably sticking to the one language. On web, you're juggling probably like 4 or 5 different types of languages. You know, there's obviously markup languages, scripting languages, full-blown languages like PHP in the backend, which is like C++. So it's like anyone that says it's not, you know, real coding, trust me, they haven't done it. And then you got the fact that you got to handle multiple screens. Ability to resize windows. It's a pain in its own right. And then on top of that, you don't generally have access to the resources of the computer, so you have to make it really streamlined compared to a regular application. Okay, I use .NET Framework. Okay, the Cherno is awesome. He's very good. Hi, Jose. Hopefully that's how you pronounce your name. Thanks. Thank you. You forgot to commit. License.txt is empty. Did I forget to commit? Okay, so let me delete the .txt version. Commit changes, blah blah blah, and we're done here. Okay, thank you for letting me know. What's the backend comment about? Separ. I mean, SFML only had the 32-bit libraries available last time I checked. So are you saying how to set it up for 64-bit? Is that what you're asking? Hey, I'm stuck in. I'll deal with this after. I need a piss. I was hoping there'll be a little break for a few minutes in the comments. That didn't come. Okay. So hey, I'm stuck in to make collapsing table while having some skill sets, but no idea where to start. Collapsing table in what? In Cocos 2DX game. Oh, in Cocos 2DX game. How well do you know Cocos 2DX? Like, what the purpose of creating all this stuff? Okay, so I'm just going to get back to this and now implement the mouse version. So the mouse version, brief class constructor for keyboard QTE for joystick QTE. I can't see this taking more than 10 minutes. So we're at 2 minutes past now. 12 minutes past is the goal. I mean, that's maximum that I'm saying. Probably less. Okay, so these are meant to be buttons. So we can just say blah 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 blah. Mouse. I need to actually put in here. So it's, I like them to be in alphabetical order. At least my ones first and then these ones after. Okay, core HIJK. And then it's mouse, so that's all after. Mouse. So there we go. Button, event list, and we should be, let's actually implement this now while we're here. And this is going to be again mouse, button. We're gonna get an error. We need to assign this to the mouse event list, which we have not created yet. And let's create here right now. Remember that song? Funk So Brother, right now. They used to have it on the old FIFA games. I should, again, I haven't played FIFA in ages, so I don't know if they have a classic playlist for the old games. That'd be cool if they did. Might actually play that. I've got FIFA 20, not 2021, 20, but that's only because I got the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I installed that, but I never actually downloaded it. I need to, 1 second, have a look at something. My front doorbell detected there was someone outside, just the neighbour. Nice neighbours, to be fair. Left and right, which does help. The ones on that side don't get much joy from my speakers. They're very nice. Okay, so I was just gonna check something. Sorry about that little thing. Okay, so I wanted to get this done by 12 past. Still possible. And I'm gonna get it done. Lock a boss. Okay, so mouse. And this or the mouse QTE. And we should be almost all good to go. We should just have to create this one more method and then we can test it. Okay, next input mouse. And we're not going to be having this. We're going to be having a mouse button, so const mouse button, and this is going to be called a button. And now let's actually process it, and we're going to copy this. Almost done. We don't need this. We don't need this. We can copy this to here, copy this to here. We should be good to build, not run, because I need to make some changes in here. So bear with me, everyone. Bear with me. Okay, so like I was saying, it's 11 past. Can we quickly test it by the time? And we're gonna say mouse button, and it is left. We're gonna do left. It's 12. But I will consider it done if I, so left, right, left is middle valid, middle, and we'll do right again. Okay, so that's basically the sequence of events, blah blah blah, and this will be, I don't need to change this at all, do I? Boom, done. Let's try it. So we should find out. Right don't work. Oh, left. I'm clicking left, but I need to update this one here. So I need to say if mouse button released, then we would say the mouse. Yeah, I didn't do it in time. Aim is 1/4 now. So we're going to say event dot mouse button dot button, boom, done. Simple dimple. Okay, so right, nothing, left works, it should reset. Left, right, left, was it middle, right. Boom, done. Only a minute over. Okay, so if I view the task list and I go to the sonar ones, I can officially remove that BS. I already implemented them, so I don't know why that is still there. They are these static methods right here. Let's just do a build and then we'll do a commit like a boss. Boom, successful. We're going to get rid of this as well. Slowly getting through it. Save it. Now let's commit it. So we're going to say QTE mouse QTE joystick QTE commit to master, and let me check out the comments. I think we've had a few. Okay, so when you try to build SFML products for Android with Gradle, you can run into this message: this app only has 32-bit native libraries. I'm digging up a non-project of mine from over a year ago. Remember, that was a big issue I never overcame. Was it an error message or was it a warning that you were getting? Is really SFML working with OpenGL 1.0? Is it? I was under the impression that it's at least a little newer than 1.0. I know SFML doesn't do something overly crazy complex. Which OpenGL does SFML use? No, I don't want to create a context. So if we go into the GitHub, we go into which one they were saying, render targets.cpp. So if I go into that, should be able to tell just by looking at the code. Render was it render targets or target? Target. Let's have a look. Just still SFML stuff. Trying to see the OpenGL GL. I really want to see if it's how are they drawing. No, that looks like they're still doing the old one. When you generally do the sort of push and pop matrices like this, that's the old one. I think you're right. Yeah, I don't know if it's 1.0. I don't know if it could be 1.1, but it looks like it's pre modern OpenGL. Okay, it was a warning: the project built successfully and you can run it. I wanted to build it with 64-bit libraries because of this. You can set up your project for 64-bit because SFML does have 64-bit, stuff. If you go to here, SFML, download, there are 64-bit version. So if you just get hold of a 64-bit, if you watch my tutorial, which I generally do 32-bit, actually in some of my tutorials, I don't know if I ever did 64-bit as well. Let me have a look. So if I do your channel, and if I search for SFML setup, see what we get. These are ones I must have liked. Otherwise, why would they, from a different guy, appear on mine? Must be that. So if I go on to like Visual Studio, and I feel like I either did it or I mentioned it.
We haven't added project.
Sound ill there.
Go write this. Type in for write here. This click this. So from that in our where yeah.
No, it doesn't look like it's set up. So you'll need to set it up. And like if you go to, I think it's here. Go to over here. No, it is the other one. And you can do it for debug and release. Do all configurations when you do the setup video. Do it for all platforms. And the only change you'll have to do for Win32 and the 64-bit is, I think it's in, no, not this one. I think there are 64-bit versions for the different DLL. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Okie dokie. So look how zoomed in this was. So yeah, I'm happy with the progress today, and what I will do is I will answer any questions that anybody has for a few minutes. So I'll stay on the stream for a few more minutes, and then I will be wrapping up. So if you have any questions, let me know. Now is the time. I will be doing another live stream for the game engine stuff tomorrow, so check that out as well. I will be doing another live stream later on for, not game engine, not programming stuff, but actually playing a game, Crisis Remastered, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure I'm hoping to have a go at as well. I was having issues with my streaming. Let me have a look. The PS5 broadcast, yeah, it keeps stopping for me. Let's see. Anyone else having problems streaming? Disable HDCP option in the settings. Should be under. That's not the issue I'm having, but my HDCP is disabled anyway. So I'll try the capture card, which produces its own problems. No, that's not it. Stream stops after 20 minutes. That's really the issue I was having. And no one has responded to this poor guy. Poor guy, because I wanted a response as well. I do not like the stand. It is terrible the way you have to attach it onto the console. Like that orientation is fine because he screws in. The other way, he just slides on. You might be like, oh, okay, you know, it slides on, so it's, you know, a lot nicer. Like easier to slide on, but it always slides off and tilts. Like if you go to your media center area and you want to do something behind there, you just move the console a bit. It starts to slip off. It is annoying. Maybe you haven't pushed it hard enough. Maybe you can make it even tighter, but I have not done that. Okay, I'm going to slap myself if the only problem was that I didn't try 64-bit libraries. I think most likely it probably will be. I won't install SML and reinstall it with only 64-bit libraries to see how things go. Yeah, go for it. And, you know, let me know if you have any issues. There's always the Discord channel. Best place for you to post stuff if you have any questions. We got, like you saw right there, over 1,000 members, over 60 online, usually have 40-50 always online, so there's someone there that should be able to respond. And it's growing and growing and growing, so feel free to have a look on that. So yeah, the PS5 broadcast, no joy there. The other issue I have is I bought a streaming card, connected it to my PS5, connected it to my PC, got the video working, got the audio working on OBS, you know, which is like what I'm using for this. But the other issue is the audio and the video goes to the capture card from the console. From there it goes to the TV, and then you can plug a USB to take it to your computer. But when it goes to the TV takes it to my speakers. Technically I've got 5 speakers, so it's 5.0, not 5.1, but it's, you know, surround sound. And when I use the capture card, it doesn't do it proper surround sound. It basically does kind of like stereo, and then it just up mixes it by putting it on the back speakers. It should be a C1s over there. But what it does is it just puts the audio at the front, at the back. So I'm hearing stuff, but it's not what I'm hearing. It's not what I'm meant to be hearing. So if I'm shooting and things are, you know, hitting at over there at the front, I shouldn't hear them at the, you know, behind me. But that is actually what is happening. And so the other thing, I'm going to have a look if because I do need to get an AV amp. I'm not going to get one yet, but if this fixes it, I might get it. AV amp with capture card. I don't want it with a capture card built in. I want to know using the capture card with it. Let me go on to so yeah. So anyone that's on here, there's no more coding now. It's just any questions that you have, and while you post questions, I'm just going to do a bit of googling of stuff that I want to try and figure out. So is there any joy with this? I think this guy's having issues with video aspect, but I'm having issues with the audio aspect. For surround, I'm thinking like this could work with an AV receiver. For the simple reason, because I don't want to capture surround sound. That's not the issue I'm having. I'm happy, and my plan was to just capture stereo. I just want to still be able to use surround on my speakers while I'm gaming and streaming. But I think the AV amp might work, because if I have the PS5 connected to the AV amp, then a cable going from there to the TV, but between the amp on the TV, I put the streaming box. That should only carry video then. The audio should be at the... but then it won't take it the other way though. You might mess up the other way. See this? See, I can get over that. Like I said, there's another issue that it creates, but I can get over that issue, so that's not an end of the world thing. See, there's no optical connection on the PlayStation or the Xbox anymore. So otherwise I could get around it using that. I feel like an AV amp could actually solve this. Again, I don't want to see the capturing ain't the issue. He says mix of all sorts of things. Everything on the... I can't get the Xbox to output as anything other than stereo. I think this guy is confirming what I need. I have no issues with setting the correct sound settings on any source device, but it might help that I'm splitting the HDMI signal from the AVR to my TV, so it goes to both the TV and the capture card at once instead of bothering with the pass-through. I only wish to record... That's not what I want. Can you get a HDMI splitter that actually literally just splits? One in, two out? Can... okay. I would need a half decent one. I wouldn't... most of them probably wouldn't work. Because I want 4K at least 60. You know, I can emit the 4K 120, the 120 hertz stuff, which is mainly gonna be not gonna be 4K anyway. So, and you know, you're lowering, you know, other stuff. So that's I'd rather have 4K 60. Like this could work, and this would work as far as I'm concerned in my head. As far as I'm concerned, as far as you know, I can think of in my head, using my current setup as well. Okay, so Still no comments. Still got 5 people watching. I don't want to. Ideally, don't want ones that require extra power as well. I know I'm asking for a lot. Don't need anything that complex, to be fair. That's good. Oh, that's power. That one is. Okay, so requires power. So you get 1 input, then 2 output, blah blah blah. The display of the low display is higher priority. Complying with displays of both. So you can't have 4K for the other one, but that's fine. I'll just do the streaming for the 1080. That's not really an issue then. For me. Does this one require power? What does that one? What does that icon say there? That don't really help at all. The zooming on here compared to Mac is terrible. USB, but USB for what? Power? If it's power, then power adapter not supplied. 5V 1 amp. Wonder if my portable battery will just get the job done. That's hassle that is then. So look, is there any that don't require power? Maybe on this one, still power. None of them have ones that people have, loads of people have bought or anything. Let's just do average customer review, highest customer review. A lot of people have bought that, but that's 4K. But what if it's 4K 60, then we're talking. Nah. I need 4K 60. Suppose mixed. If one of your displays support up to 4K 60Hz, the other display support up to 1080p. Second display will downscale to 1080p automatically. One of the displays will show a 4K 60Hz resolution. The other one will show the 1080p resolution. Does not support resolution downscaling from 4K by 2K. What is the 4.2 ratio? Is that the same to 1080p? But that's fine. No, I'm not doing that. It is 3840 by 2160 for me. This could be one of the ones. This could be one that I try. I'll eliminate that. I'll eliminate that. This one does look nicer, to be fair, but see, that supports HDR. It needs to support HDR. Does it support HDR? Does not mention it, so I am going to assume that it does not. I've got one of these, but that's 5 in, 1 out. and I use that obviously for a different purpose, and it's 5 in 1 out, so it's neither here nor there. This will probably be the one I get, black or red. Do like red color, but black does sort of hide a bit better. Okay, cause that's what we want. DTSHD. I think this is the one I'm gonna order. So let me check if there's any more comments. No more comments. If you quite a few people are watching me just browse on Amazon. I will be wrapping up now. Almost 2 hours. Happy with how everything's gone today. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the stream. If you have any questions, feel free to pop me a message. Like Discord is probably the best place, like right here. There's a link right there. And I will be doing another stream tomorrow for coding, for this game engine stuff. I'll be doing another stream later on for just playing games. So feel free to join me on that as well. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Have a good life, etc., etc. Bye-bye.